Therefore the Lord God sent him forth from the Garden of Eden. He drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubim, and a flaming sword which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life. The Conclave Bible, Data Links.
Therefore the Lord God sent him forth from the Garden of Eden. He drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubim, and a flaming sword which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life. The Conclave Bible, Data Links.
We hold life to be sacred, but we also know the foundation of life consists of a stream of codes, not so different from the successive frames of a watchwit. Why then cannot we cut one code short here and start another there? Is life so fragile that it can withstand no tempering? Does the sacred brook no improvement? Chairman Shen Jiyang, Dynamics of Mind.
Resources exist to be consumed, and consumed they will be, if not by this generation, then by some future. By what right does this forgotten future seek to deny us our birthright? None, I say. Let us take what is ours, chew and eat our fill. CEO Nwabude K. Morgan, The Ethics of Greed.
The righteous need not cower before the drumbeat of human progress. Though the song of yesterday fades into the challenge of tomorrow, God still watches and judges us. Evil lurks in the data links as it lurked in the streets of yesteryear. But it was never the streets that were evil. Sister Miriam Godwinson, The Blessed Struggle.
Scientific theories are judged by the coherence they lend to our natural experience and the simplicity with which they do so. The grand principle of the heavens balances on the razor's edge of truth. Commissioner Pravin Lal, A History of Science.
If you can discover a better way of life than office holding for your future rulers, a well-governed city becomes a possibility. For only in such a state will those rule who are truly rich, not in gold, but in the wealth that makes happiness, a good and wise life. Plato, The Republic, Data Links.
Once a man has changed the relationship between himself and his environment, he cannot return to the blissful ignorance he left. Motion of necessity involves a change in perspective. Commissioner Pravin Lal, A Social History of Planet.
Planet's atmosphere, though a gasping death to humans and most animals, is paradise for earth plants. The high nitrate content of the soil and the rich yellow sunlight bring an abundant harvest wherever adjustments can be made for the unusual soil conditions. Lady Deirdre Skye, A Comparative Biology of Planet.
Important? Yes. Critical? Absolutely. I would go so far as to say that superconducting fiber alone makes our present economy possible. CEO Nwabude K. Morgan, Morgan Link 3D Vision live interview.
There are two kinds of scientific progress: the methodical experimentation and categorization which gradually extend the boundaries of knowledge, and the revolutionary leap of genius which redefines and transcends those boundaries. Acknowledging our debt to the former, we yearn nonetheless for the latter. Academician Prokhor Zakharov, Address to the Faculty.
You ivory tower intellectuals must not lose touch with the world of industrial growth and hard currency. It is all very well and good to pursue these high-minded scientific theories, but research grants are expensive, and you must justify your existence by providing not only knowledge, but concrete and profitable applications as well. CEO Nwabude K. Morgan, The Ethics of Greed.
Our ancestors harnessed the power of a sun, and so again shall we. Commissioner Pravin Lal, The Science of Our Fathers. Until quite recently, spider silk had the highest tensile strength of any substance known to man, and the name silk steel pays homage to the arachnid for good reason. Commissioner Pravin Lal, UN Scientific Survey.
The substructure of the universe regresses infinitely toward smaller and smaller components. Behind atoms we find electrons, and behind electrons quarks. Each layer unraveled reveals new secrets, but also new mysteries. Academician Prokhor Zakharov, for I have tasted the fruit.
At atrociously high energy states, the properties of matter change subtly and new miracles become possible. The plasma accretion process is now dangerous and difficult to control, but its products will soon become commonplace in our society. Sister Miriam Godwinson, The Lord Works.
As I stepped onto the mag tube, a thought struck me. Can there be friction where there is no substance? And can substance be tricked into hiding from itself? Dr. Gail Nambala, Morgan Industries researcher.
Our scientists now use fractal theory to teach the molecules to assume or resume a particular form. Substances of amazing strength become simple once the formulae are properly computed. Colonel Corazon Santiago, The Council of War.
A brave little theory, and actually quite coherent for a system of 5 or 7 dimensions, if only we lived in one. Academician Prokhor Zakharov, Now we are alone.
Man has killed men from the beginning of time, and each new frontier has brought new ways and new places to die. Why should the future be different? Colonel Corazon Santiago, Planet, a survivalist guide.
I maintain nonetheless that yin-yang dualism can be overcome. With sufficient enlightenment, we can give substance to any distinction. Mind without body, north without south, pleasure without pain. Remember, enlightenment is a function of willpower, not of physical strength. Chairman Shen Jiyang, Essays on Mind and Matter.
Preliminary analysis indicates that our rivals have developed a safe and reliable method to simulate conditions existing on the interior of a stellar mass. The fabrication and transmutation of materials possible in such an environment guarantees significant industrial and military applications. Probe Team Operations Directorate, Top Secret Report.
Beware, you who seek first and final principles, for you are trampling the garden of an angry god, and he awaits you just beyond the last theorem. Sister Miriam Godwinson, but for the grace of God.
This unusual specimen is not so much a classic particle as a connector, a kind of string attaching two particles. As distance increases, the connective power becomes attenuated, but if it is caught, the power vanishes forever. Academician Prokhor Zakharov, For I have tasted the fruit.
Technological advance is an inherently iterative process. One does not simply take sand from the beach and produce a data probe. We use crude tools to fashion better tools, and then our better tools to fashion more precise tools, and so on. Each minor refinement is a step in the process, and all of the steps must be taken. Chairman Shen Jiyang, looking God in the eye.
What goes up? Better doggone well stay up. Morgan Gravitonics, company slogan.
Until now the battle had been proceeding smoothly. The enemy was outflanked and had been driven from the reactor housing, but against the reactor itself the matter cannon were strangely ineffective. Rounds simply stopped in midair. Colonel Corazon Santiago, A Tactical History of Sparta.